All right, welcome everybody again to another exciting day of crypto here. Wow, what a great day. Super crazy. Well, yesterday I said I was looking for one or two more pushes, and this isn't quite what I expected, but yeah, we definitely got one or two more pushes. So I made this call. Now, BTC is looking weak right here. We are on a bunch of let me bring up some other charts. Here's kind of a couple different charts that we have. Here's our 4-hour chart. Our 4-hour chart came all the way up here. We are sitting on a spinning top. This is just about to close. If this doesn't close any moment now, we should be jumping over to the next candle. So on the 6-hour chart, we have a spinning top also. So we got a doji on the 6-hour. On the 4-hour, we've got another spinning top. We had a perfected 9. So we did get a perfected 9, and there we go. We just jumped to the next day. We did get a perfected 9. Now, let me tell you, everybody who watches my show, we know that we need to watch out for we also need to watch out for this to bleed out, okay? So we definitely got to be very careful watching this to bleed out here, right? So now we're going to bring up a little comparison. Let's do our 12-hour, and we're going to bring up our daily chart here. All right, and there we go. All right, so we are on a red 9 on the daily right here. Thank you very much, Snaka. We are on a red 9 on the daily. Now, can we get a perfected 9 out of this? So this 7-8 definitely saved us. So we are looking for a perfected 9. I do have a few targets up top here. So you see I do have a resistance target up here, 79.29. So if this does come up here and wick out, I would be looking for it to come up, do one more little tiki-taki pokey here. And it is definitely possible. This is going to be tough though. I think we're going to really need some oomph to get this perfected 9 out of this. I'm a little worried this might fall out here and we won't get a perfected 9. It is possible. So I'd just like to see one more little push back up. All right, so I'm going to take it over to this. Here we go. Here's our here's my big boy chart right here. So my big boy chart says we were looking for 2 more pushes up. We got 1. So there's the first push up, right? Now, I am kind of expecting one more possible little push up. I do have a couple resistance points up here. I did think we were going to get stopped down here a little bit lower in this other resistance point, which is right here. Here you go. So this is the chart I did posted. This compared us to the previous 2014. I do have another chart I'm going to bring up a little bit later that shows something very similar to this. And what I'm looking at is a comparison of the RSI charts. So when you compare the RSI charts, you get, we're right here in this action right here, right somewhere in here if we compare our RSIs, right, where we came up and touched that right there. So our RSI level is extremely high. We're at a really critical point on our RSI level right now. We've got to watch out, so we'll get over to that chart in just a second. But I had this as my resistance block right here. It did get snapped, but you can see we're still in this resistance block. So I put this here yesterday. I said, listen, this is the resistance block area. And you can see now we're trapped in that resistance block area. So I did call this area out yesterday. Nothing has changed other than I said it was busted. And the bubble charts won, which they did. Gosh damn bubble charts, always right, always making me look like a fool sometimes. Now, I do expect for this is the first time we have closed on over the daily, over the 128 in a while. So we have done this, we've closed over this 128 here. Now, let's make sure we all look back in history, and this is where I become bullish. Breaking over this for longer than a sustained period of time makes me a bull, okay? It's very simple. I am neither bullish nor bearish. I'm going to get a shirt that just says 128 printed, all right? I'm going to get a hat that says 128. because that is what I am. I ride the line as well as all of you should, right? So here we go. Here's our 128 day. As you see, we came up, we've done this before, we've played this game before with the 128, broke over, got rejected, broke over, held it for a moment, died, broke over, got rejected but rallied, held it for just one day, and then died. Now both of these, neither of these made it to a 9. Neither of these did. So this 7 died early, this 8 died. Neither one of these got to be a perfected 9. And they both died off here. So I'm really not looking for anything drastic to change here. I'm looking still, you know, to you gotta show me the light, bulls. Okay, show me the light. Take me to the promised land here. Okay, and the promised land is being on the right side of the yellow line. That's it, right? Show me the promised land. Take me to the glorious gates of the 128 and show me the money. That's all I'm asking. I'm not really hopeful this is it. I'm not hopeful that we found the glory lands, because listen, to get all the way up here and be in these high numbers this close to the 128, it just doesn't give me a lot of hope. I would prefer to go all the way back in time, and I would prefer this, we got up over the 128 like on a 2, a 3, a 5, something like that, above this. I want to see a 2, 3, 4, 5 above this to give me a little more hope here, you know. And these are not just a long run right this. I want this, see this right here? I want all of this action above the yellow line, and I would be extremely bullish. All right, so I am watching this very carefully. I'm just torn here. Now I'm torn because of multiple reasons, and you know what? I'm just going to slap an indicator on this thing right here. Let me slap my RSI up right here. All right, and give me a second. Let me just make it nice and bright for everybody. All right, so here is a challenge that we have. As you see, we are on a very critical place. We're coming up here. We're just doing the little peeky pokey here, and I have a chart already pulled up. Let me see, where's that chart? Okay, so here it is. This is what I was taking a look at, the members area. So here we are today. We're right here. We're trying to get up and bust this line right here. We're trying to get up and bust out over this. Now the bubble charts do say that we possibly can go up a little bit, right? We'll get back to the bubble charts in a minute. The MACD actually says we can go up here. The bubble charts are they're in a lot of resistance area on the bubble charts. Now you can see back here 2014 came all the way up here, tagged it. We got right up to the 128 and then it fell out. Here is exactly, we're almost right here today. We're actually down a little into this area right here. Now, our lines have not crossed. We have not crossed our 128 and our 100. They have not crossed like they did down here, right? So this has not crossed down here. It didn't cross till right here, much lower, right? So this also, when we got down here and these two lines did cross, these were at the bottom. This is a good sign. If these two lines cross, this is a very, to me, it is bullish. It's a bullish sign that we could be seeing a reversal. We could have found a bottom. So if these lines cross, this is a good thing, right? Now, the last two times we did get our RSI up here, it clearly showed we were not done yet. All right, we were not done yet, right? Here we pierced and dropped back down. Here we came up, we pokey, dropped back down. Now here was the last, you see this 2014, this is good. You know, got up, broke out, nice run, the last dip, and then it was moon time, right? I'd like to see the same thing happen to us. You know, we're really, really close to some moon action here. But at the same time, I would like to see this. See, look at where, you know, we've got to get, we got to get to a point where we can, when the 128 folded back over, right? and we had the price action above the 128, it was just go long for a year. That's it. So my line is the 128 right here, and that's what I'm riding. I'm just going to keep riding this till the wheels fall off. I'm going to ride this baby till the wheels fall off, okay? So we all need to be very cognizant of the 128-day moving average. It has foretold the future, and I believe it will foretell the past. I mean, it has foretold the past. I believe it will foretell the future. All right, so there you are again. The same very similar situation. Now remember, don't forget over here on the 3-day, wow. You know, this is what's crazy. This candle was insanely bearish right here on the 3-day. I mean, unbelievable. And this is the great part. So if you go through Vamps and you guys come into our charting group and you see what we got going on, you'll see that I have a trading list of teaches you how to trading. Basically, it's inside the mind of the trader, and it's this list of A, B, C, D, E, and F, and how everything plays out. And candles are actually third on the list, fourth on the list, possibly. And you can see how this amazingly bearish candle just got completely wiped off the map. Just wiped off the map. Now, when I do this, the trend is first, right? So that could invoke, say that we're in a bullish trend, right? That is possible, right? So trend is first. MAs are second. So moving averages are second. And if you look back here, you know, here's the moving average. So we had this 2 days ago. You had the 2-day chart just kick the crap out of the price. The moving averages take precedence and have strength over candles. As long as you understand this, you will be a good trader, right? And this 2-day chart right here, this 2-day crossover just wiped it out. Now we are above. Now we have price action above, and we do have another cross coming between our 200 and our 50. Now I do not take as much stock in these higher MA crossovers than I do the lower MA crossovers. The ones that have the greatest strength to me are the 7 MA and the 30 MA, or the 7 MA and the 50 MA. Any of the other crosses that are higher than that, I don't give them as much. Now it's these 3 MAs that create the good crosses. You got the 30, the 7, the 30, and the 50. Any of these 3 that cross, you need to pay attention. Okay? The other ones that cross, so-so, meh, all right? It's only these 3 that I use to really look at. So here's the 7 and the 30, died. Here is the 50 and the 30, completely died. 50 and 30 again, died again, right? The charts tell the tales. The charts tell the tales, right? And this 7 and 30 just kicked the pants out of my 3-day candle. Now, I am using the 2-day chart to also look for moving average crosses. I wasn't before, I am using it now. Okay, so I keep learning. Every day I'm learning something new, and I just added something else into my arsenal that just made me a stronger, better trader. Okay, and this is it. Now, we are on a 5 on the 2-day chart. You guys all know I looked for turnarounds on the 6s. I like to see, here you go. Here's a 6, turnaround, 6, turnaround, 6, turnaround. What the hell, right? I mean, these 6s are a very common place for turnarounds here. And I am looking for a possible 6, so which would give me one more day of a green candle. Now that green candle does not have to be on the top. That green candle can be lower. All right. This cross, I'm not so worried about. This is more of a, now it has turned into support, but this was more of a resistance to me than it was a cross to me. Okay, so this has now been turned into support. These 2 moving averages, the 200-day, listen guys, the 200-day is like butter. I look at the 7, and the reason the 7 is blue is it's like water. Okay, and I look at the 100-day, I'm sorry, the 200-day, it's like fire. There's nothing there. Yeah, it burns you, blah, 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 but you can pass right through it. right? Just anything can pass right through the fire. You got the fire and the water, my top and my bottom. This is why my charts make sense. Okay, this is why they make sense to me. They should make sense to you. Water, fire. Remember, water's on the bottom, the fire's on top, right? So here you have the 200 down here below. Now the 50 will provide support here. Pretty good support. The 50 will take a bounce or two to get below it. But this 200, don't even count it as support here. I am looking also at the 1-day chart. So let's go back to the 1 day. You are forming another bullish cross, right? So you do have another bullish cross. This is still a full day away, if not 2 days away on the daily chart. Okay, these moving averages move very slowly. You'll have to have some pretty drastic price action in order to get these to cross in the next 2 days. Henceforth, why I've been saying I'm looking for a retrace, then we'd see a cross, then we'd see a kick back up. And I have that over on my main chart right here. You can see, here we go. The reason why I have that, and there it is right there, is because of this. I'm looking for this to come down, cross, bounce back up, right? Pretty simple trading. Pretty easy trading. We have the 9, right? Now, this can bleed up. I will expect for this to possibly bleed up. It can happen, right? But it can also move sideways. Look, here's a green 9. See how we came up here? We hit the green 9. It kind of puttered to the side sideways and then just died. This is possible also. All right, now this green 9 was higher than the green 8. It does not necessarily have to be. And this does not necessarily have to stop at the 9. It can bleed up a little bit higher. This is a pretty good run. We have had a great run. My bubble charts called me to get into this trade at 65.20. If you go back through my tweets, you'll see me, my entry point and everything. I got into this run at 65.20 solely based on the bubble charts, right? So we as traders are doing well, okay? Now, my EOS trade that I'm in is still murdering it. It's up like 26% or something. It's unbelievable. I just posted in the group. I'll post it up on Twitter a little bit later. You know, when BTC runs, these alts are just dying, and that's all we're seeing is hemorrhaging on the alts going on right now. So here we are. Let's take a look at our bubble chart, right? So our bubble charts are just money. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand it. Damn bubble charts, always got to be right. Bugs the crap out of me. Right? And here's the thing. I gotta take the bubble charts over the damn price action. And I'm learning this. And I'm listen. Here is where I got in. This is the white line is the long trade line. This, if you go back and you look at the RSI on the 12-hour chart at 5,300, you'll see it exactly matches the price list at 65.20 or something like that. This is where I got into the long trade here. I rode this up. I jumped in and out. I pulled some shorts. And then the bubble chart called this right here, and I have been sitting in an EOS short now for 5 days. 5 days I've been sitting in one trade. Now I've gone in and out and in and out of that trade, but I've been doing it for 5 days. I am a swing trader. I like to trade like that, right? I've barely touched my trading iPad because I like to swing trade. I mean, I've made money just doing nothing. All right, it's been great. So now we are looking at, we're getting some possible rejection here. There you got the rejection there. Now, what I'm seeing is similar is, see this action right here? This is very similar to this action right here. Now, you need to be careful because when this action occurred, this still went up. This still went up. Now, if you look at this on the daily, if you switch the bubble charts over to the daily chart, you'll see that we are almost peaked out, nearly at the same spot, right? We're way up here on the daily chart, peaking out also. So we're a little bit higher historically than we were in April. Now, what should that say to you? That should clearly say that this is more bearish. Having higher indicators and lower price action is more bearish. All right, so I look at this more bearishly than I do when we were back here in April. Right, I'm looking this with a more bearish eye. Our price action is definitely lower, right? Our peak is definitely higher. Okay, so I am looking at this as this does set me up differently now than it did then. Okay, because our indicators are strapped up a little bit higher right now. That does give you, you know, on the RSI also. So we can show you how that worked out on the RSI and the bubble chart also over there. So now we're at a weak point right here. We're a little bit weak right here on this right now. We got to be really careful, okay? Got to be careful trading this long. I think there's limited upside here. I'm still chilling in my EOS short. I am actually looking at adding on to my short positions right now. And we'll go over that in a little while. All right. Let me bring this back. Oh, put this back. There you go. And so I want to try to put these charts back together. All right. There we go. So, oh, that's the day. I need the, sorry. Let me get this thing here. There we go. Don't want the wrong chart telling you the wrong thing. Okay. So now we are down, we are rolling over right now, right? And as you see my note, before we got started, I see BTC is looking weak here, right? It just looks like, I'm not getting excited about this being a massive retracement right here. I'm not. Is it possible? Meh. I mean, it is possible. I'm still 50-50. I still think we have a little oomph. Now, can this drop up and then give us some oomph back up? Yes, it's totally possible. Do something like the double top we had back at the 11.8, 11.6 area. That's completely possible. It's also, we had a double top. If you go back and you look at the past historicals, we've done a lot of these double top actions. We did it here, right? Up and down, right? We could do it here, you know, up and down and up again. Right, we did it back over at 11.6, right there. Same thing. You know, we can be looking at a very similar action here. Just a little swoopy down, a little swoopy up. I mean, you know how it is, guys. The whales like to play the games. Rack out all the long trades and then whack out all the short trades and then go ahead and drop it on everybody again. I mean, the manipulation in the market is real. I mean, these are some evil swings right here with, you know, so this is possible to dump out. Now, look at the last time we came up like this. We did dump out. Last time we came up this, we did dump out. I think that this structure, now it does resemble this structure right here a lot, right? It does, but it also resembles this structure. So we came up, moved sideways, did get the long punch up. We have been progressively getting weaker and weaker as this has gone down. Right now, there's multiple reasons for this. Market cap being one of them. The market cap up here was insane. The market cap right here was tremendously lower. The market cap down here, we're struggling for 300 million. So we've got to really keep an eye on the fundamentals of where the market cap is, ignoring the fundamentals that are telling us, you know, that this can, of the ETFs. Now, listen, I know everybody's excited about the ETFs. I've said this days ago, and it's funny because I'm just reading articles now about it. We have been talking about the ETFs getting postponed, right? We have been telling people, dude, don't get your hopes up for the ETFs. It's probably gonna get postponed. And I'm telling you guys, it's probably gonna get postponed. So be very careful, very, very careful. All right, you gotta be very careful if you're trying to buy into this FOMO market right now for the ETFs, because when this ETF news comes out, it could be very traumatic to the marketplace. It will. I will personally be I'll be waiting. I'm gonna be one of those guys sitting there with a long trade ready. When the day of, I'll sit there, I'll have my long trade ready, right? I'm not stupid, I'm a smart guy, you know, just in case it goes moony on us and something happens and it gets approved, you know, the Winklevosses can slide a nice little envelope or a pretty Lamborghini or something nice, you know. a couple, you know, made to order, you know, call girls sent to whoever the decision maker's office the day before, right? Help straighten that pen up nice so I can sign that document. All right, so I am looking right here for a possible little dip and then another run up. So let's be careful here. Remember, nines do not have to be, this is not a perfected 9 yet, and even if it is a perfected 9, it can still run a little deeper. All right, let's bring this back over here. Oop, all right. Let's bring up a bunch of our notes. We have, all right, so our notes. So we did get, if you were in a short trade on BTC, which I have not, I do not trade BTC long or short. I only trade alts long or short. So it was just as surprising to me on my EOS short when I took a look at it and my EOS short was through the roof, simply because the BTC to EOS conversion was just getting wrecked. Alts were just getting wrecked. Okay. Now I do have some resistance levels up here, right? I do have some resistance levels, and I'm basing these resistance levels off of these charts right here, right? So I've got these charts right here. I've got numbers pegged up here, and like how if this keeps going, I kind of, you know, I'm estimating that this is what the price action would be here, right? If it were to come up and reach these levels, okay? These are just estimates, right? I'm not saying this has to be perfect, but these are estimates of where I think this can go. Now, this can always drop back lower, pump up a little lower, and we can still, that'll change the dynamics of my price positioning there. But you see, I do have some resistance at 80.78, 97, 80.40, it's actually 80.39, and 81.79. So there you are. All right. We do have a help whatsoever from the candle today. Right, we have no help from the candle today at all, other than it's just a long line candle. There's no help from this candle on the daily chart at all. We can break this down. Let's break this down to the 12-hour. No help from any MAs. Remember that what this doesn't help us. You did get this cross down here between the 50 and the 100. This did just happen. I mean, it's relevant, but it's not. Okay, it's relevant, but it's not. I don't take a lot. This can give you a little push up. I don't like these. They don't give us as much action as we, and we can go take a look at one of those previous ones. All right, so here you go. Here's where it crossed one time. See, look, so there was a death cross between the 50 and the 100. It didn't do anything. There was no effect whatsoever. Nothing. And maybe it pushed this down just a little bit, but the price rallied right into the face of it. So completely irrelevant. This cross doesn't help me right here. These two lines crossing do not help me right here. The 7 and the 200 don't help me right here. This wouldn't help me with a bullish and or bearish cross. Let's run this down to the 4-hour chart. No crosses, but here's the dangerous thing you've got to look at. When you break down to these lower timelines, there's no dual support zones here. See, like this, you had the 7 and the 30 close. Watching this is a lot of support. It's clustered together. This is pretty vicious. We are, look, if you're up here and you're looking at this 4-hour chart, so here's your red 9, and then this bled up, and then you've just got this straight sideways action with a lot of bearish candles. Bearish spinning top, bearish candle, bearish spinning top. Started out with a brand new candle trying to break down. This 7 is the water, so if this dumps, you're going to see a quick dump down to 7,400. It'll get caught right here. 74.84. It'll get caught right down here. And then it can take these out one at a time. Let's go over to the 6-hour. No help on the 6-hour. Once again, you've got a 100 and a 200 cross, which is kind of irrelevant. Spinning top, and then looking to break loose lower. I'd say your only real support is 73.84. And that's and then the daily, same thing. The daily support 7,500. Actually, the daily's got some man, this 100's not going to help if this does break. Okay, this is the one I'm looking for a pump back up. All right. All right. Let's go over and let's look at a couple. Where are my charts? Hold on a second. There we go. All right, so let's look at EOS, okay? So here on the EOS charts, what I've got is I've got pointed out on the, let's go up here to the, okay, so here you have, I'm going to rip this off right here. This is a very difficult setup right here, okay? So this particular setup right here is called a Hikaki. So this looks like a Hikaki pattern possibly playing out, right? And a Hikaki pattern you've got to be very careful of, because what it does is this looks like an inside bar, right? But this inside bar can play down and then bounce up and then crash, right? This is a bearish structure right here. Okay, so we're going to go over the 1 day. All right. Okay, so this played out. So here, this is a, this really didn't help. This looks just like a rising wedge. So a bearish rising wedge. Now on the daily, you do have the 7 and the, you have the 7 and the 50 coming together, 7 and the 30. Now, if you look at my notes on here, right, my notes that I've had up on EOS is EOS has got to, EOS has got, the next target down is way down here on EOS, right? And I would be very, very wary of this 12-hour candle right here with this inside bar action, right? This is either an inside bar and or a bearish Hikaki pattern. Okay, and let me see if I can pull that up for everybody. Give me one quick second. Let me grab that chart. And where is it at? Give me a second. Give me 1 second. I'm finding it. All right, so there you go. So here is the, here's the bearish fakie pattern, right? Which also can be the inside bar right there. And then where's my Hikaki? God dang it. Where are you at? Let me see here. Let me find this. It's my VIP area. All along. All right, there we are. All right, so here is a bearish Hikaki, and what happens is you can see it's hard to zoom in here. It's hard to see these things, but you get this inside bar, a little action. It then can bounce up and then bounce down, and there we go. Sorry, wrong one. Oh, come on. Let me slide this over. There we go. Thank you. Ah! Chart failure. Chart fan failure. All right, there we go. All right, see how you get this long line candle right here with the tall wick, right? Then you get the second red candle right here. So here you got the tall candle, tall green candle with the wick. You have that the second candle's up here at the top of the body, right? Then the third candle drops out. Then you can get a rally. This is a Hikaki pattern, right? So you get a rally. It's a fake rally. This is actually a bull trap scenario. This is a classic bull trap candle play that's coming, right? Look at, we got this spinning top before it. Spinning top kind of comes into it. A couple spinning top candles came right into this thing, formed the Hikaki pattern and or inside bar, and it's going to drop out. Now, if this drops out, this can bounce up again. It can go up, you know, it can get up here again. This can give us a little bit of run on EOS, and then it will dive out. So I'm watching this in our members area. This is one of the patterns we're watching for. Now, the funny thing is, this is playing out exactly the same on Litecoin. So here's Litecoin. So you come over here to your Litecoin chart, and you pull up the daily. right? So you're getting a very similar style candle here. So here you have a very similar style. It fell out. Now this was more of a wick. This was more of a fakie. This is more of the fakie with the wick. Where's my fakie candle? So this is more like, this did a fakie right here. Where's my fakie? Fakie. Right, anyways, this is a inside bar with a fakie pin bar. So this is a perfect setup. God, let me find that candle. All right, there we are. There we go. See that? This is the perfect setup. This is an inside bar with a fakie pin bar, right? It's a false breakout, right? And then it just tanks on us. So I'm watching Litecoin for this. This is another great trade setup. We had this in our members area, and it's a bearish fakie with a pin bar pattern. Say that 5 times fast. All right. So we've been watching Litecoin as it's kind of tanking out here. It has been a good coin to play. We have been playing with this. If you guys have been watching me, I've been saying this is not a good trade, long trade, right? So it came up here, hit my top target with that pin bar. Right, I had a target up here, hit that pin bar target, hit this target down here, hit my pin bar target up there, came down, and now it's literally sitting here on top of a ton of support. Right here. This is, and I've had this here for days. Test this area. Target below. Our next target below is 78 bucks. I actually have $78. If this breaks out lower, I do expect this to go to $78 right here. Okay. You are just teetering on support right here. This is the last support. If this does break lower, this will just give us a confirmation of the candle setup. You do not have any support above and nor below it that's showing any signs of support for this 12-hour LTC can. This is a good play. We've been talking about this. We've been watching this. Some of our members made some money on it. So yeah, neutral to bearish. So this kind of looked like a bearish harami right here. See, this is a bearish harami, but then on the daily, this completely played out as an inside bar with the pin bar. Okay, so now you would be looking to get into this thing. Oh, there it goes. When it breaks $81. Sorry, you'd be looking to get into this thing as shorted, and when it breaks 81 bucks. So there we go. Yeah, and there's that. Okay, there it says bad trade setup until 81 breaks or holds. So there you go. So I would be looking for this to, your next support down is 79 bucks. And then I still think this week, I just don't think there's a lot of support right here. There's a little. I find more support down here at the $78 level. If that's where this is going, that's where I'm at. So now you got to keep an eye on this 12-hour. Let's go over to the 6-hour. The 6-hour had a lot of support right there. See, look at all this. Just snap through all this support right there. There goes all your support. You do have your 7MA rolling over. Now, if that 7MA gets to this 50MA, still a couple candles away to get over this. Now, unless this thing tanks lower, you just got to watch out right here. Let's take this down to the 4-hour, see if we got any help on the 4-hour candle down here. Okay, so the good news is, you know, you had this bearish cross up here that did spank the living crap out of it, right? Knocked it straight out of the sky. Your 100 is not helping it. This is not good for support or resistance. So I wouldn't worry too much about this 100. If this does decide to bounce, this 200, same thing. These things are they're just garbage for any support or resistance zones. You do have a little bit of support. Hold on a second. You do have a little bit of support right here. So right here at the $80 mark, if you would see a bounce, I would be looking for something to bounce right in here would be that would be a good come down, test this area right here. But now you're below all the supports. You are going to have some issues. Don't worry about anything rolling over. This is not going to help the bears on the 4-hour. We can't pull this down to a 1 or 2 hour. All right, so look at that. There you go. Look at all these massive crosses on the 2 hour. Just beating this down, but they've all played out right now. So all those crosses have played out. They're not going to help the bears get this down any deeper. And nope, not going to help. No help. There's just nothing's going to help anybody right here. So this is kind of just left up to his own right now. There's no support. It's not getting any additional support pushing down from the moving averages. This is just a support and resistance game right here. That's all it is. So all you're looking for is supports and resistance levels to hold Litecoin at this time. All right, Tron. Yeah, Tron, I did just pull a 300,000 Tron short. I pulled it up here. I have a 300,000 Tron short. I'll show you that, guys. And it is now in profit. I might have set my stop loss right up here. So my short on Tron is actually doing well. I have called Tron bearish. I have been bearish on Tron. Let's pull down this to 6 hour. The bears got no help right here. You do have support right here. You have support coming up real fast. You're coming right into that support. So you're coming right into that bounce area. So you got one bounce area here. You got another one down here. Nothing bearish on the 6 hour that I can see. Additionally, you're just playing the support game. All across is played out on the 4 hour, 2 hour. Okay, so the 2 hour you do have a cross in about 2 hours. These are probably just going to run parallel for a little while. So now you are on a 9, so you should get a bounce right here. Right now, this should bounce right here on this 2 hour, but it'll probably bleed out. So you're going to come down, probably peg this 9, and I would expect it to bleed out here. So I will be looking. This is a little bit of a risky trade for me right here because I'm in it like up here. So I'm up here somewhere. Maybe, yeah, I'm up about here. And I expect this thing to at least get down here, and then I'm hoping for it to bleed down there. I'll take a bunch of profit out of it. Let's go back up to our higher time frames. Absolutely no help with support and resistance. 1 day, zero help from anybody. Let's go over to our 2-day chart. Once again, see, there's my, I have a little, this is my support right here. Any more support is down here. God, so this is a red 2. It is traveling below this red 1. Yep, so you got a 2 that is now trading lower than a red 1. I would watch for this. Hopefully this doesn't pick up too much speed right here. I don't think it will. I think it's just going to kind of chill out and wait for Bitcoin. I mean, it's not even waiting for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's not even moving. So Tron is just super weak right now. Let's look for a bounce right here, though. All right, let's pull up the 3-day. These candles don't help me at all. This looks like a new candle that just formed. This candle just was 50-50, a bullish candle, right? I mean, inverted. Now the handle's not long enough for an inverted hammer. And the last look at this. Yeah, well, you know, that 3-day still got a day to go on it. I think is this a brand new 3-day candle? Is that a brand new 3-day candle? It could be. All right, Ethereum. Ethereum, I am actually bullish on Ethereum. Okay, I was more bullish on Ethereum. So we had this inside bar right here action. I did expect for this to fall out on this inside bar a couple days ago. It didn't. It acted bullish. And then it did this enormous, so I had this target up here, and I had 15, 80%, 18% that it hit way up here. So I was looking this as three white soldiers. You got the 3 white soldiers marching over here on Ethereum also. You came up here. We dumped. We got this absolutely wicked daily candle. I can't even tell you what this thing is. It's just one of the most wicked spinning top candles I've ever seen. I don't know what to make of it. I really don't. I don't know what to make of this. Like, I was bullish when it ran up here. It hit here. And look at this. This thing has literally hit both of my targets. It's crazy. So it actually hit, this was my lower target. It's just on a higher time frame. But this is just crazy how this thing is played out. I don't know what to make hide nor hair of this. You do have a small bearish crossover, but I don't have a good trade setup for anybody on Ethereum. Here's an issue with Ethereum. You are trading below all, and I mean all the MAs have come together at this one place. All right. Now, this is dangerous both ways here, okay? This is definitely dangerous both ways here. You can see if you zoom in that the 7 is trying to cross over your 7 is trying to cross over onto your 100-day. The candle formations are not helpful, right? You got this spinning top, which is bearish, kind of a spinning top. You got this quasi shooting star candle dumped out, and you're below all the support. There you go. You just had a bearish cross on the 7 and the 30, so this should play out now. This is a fresh cross. This should be a fresh dump here. You are only on a 4. This candle kind of doesn't look like it helped a little bit. My next target down is 432. If this does dump down, I'm looking for 432 as a possible low right there. Okay, we did get a great short call by the Beast Scalper. So the Beast Scalper called a nice short call right there. And there's just, there's all this grouped up support. See, same thing. I don't know what it is with Ethereum. Everything is just bunched right together right here. This is not good. So you've got a rising wedge starting right here on your 4-hour chart with Ethereum. You can expect for this to fall out on this rising wedge here. I would expect for this to fall out one more time. You're only on a red 3. You've got everything above you. That's it. All right. Wow. What an exciting day. What a super crazy day today. Right? A lot to talk about. Mostly alts, right? Mostly alts. I mean, this is kind of an alt day more than a BTC day. The action on BTC is kind of limited. We're kind of in a holding pattern right here. I still think BTC looks weak right here. I did call for 1 to 2 more pushes. It's possible we dip a little bit, get one more little pushy back up, and then drop, but we'll see. We'll see how BTC plays out. I'm still expecting a push within the next 2 days. If this comes up here, I would expect a bounce. Now, if we're up here and we get this crossing over, you're going to look for some higher highs. That is extremely bullish news. I mean, that puts us in an extreme bullish category, which is good, right? We want to be in a bullish category. It sucks, right? And, oh, okay. Wow, what an exciting day.